Did you know that 1% of Bitcoin's supply is held by publicly traded companies? Now, this may not sound like much, but it marks the start of a recent trend that has been responsible for taking the crypto market to new all-time highs over the last year. Companies are adding BTC to their balance sheets almost every other week as of late, and there's lots of speculation about which big names are likely to be next. Today, I'm going to tell you about a few companies that hold Bitcoin, how much BTC they hold, if and when they'll sell, and which companies could be adding BTC to their balance sheets in the near future. I hate to be rude, but there's a disclaimer I need to give to you. Financial advice is not something you'll find in this video. That's because it's just entertaining educational content, if you didn't already know. If you've never seen my face before, my name is Guy and I'd like to welcome you to the Coin Bureau. This is where you'll find some of the highest quality crypto content on YouTube. Coins, tokens, exchanges, wallets, tutorials, regulations, news, and reviews are just a few of the topics I peruse. If this sounds like your cup of tea, subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell. It's free. If you're short on time or looking for a specific subject, feel free to skip around using the timestamps in the timeline that I've left. Just be aware that if you manage to stick around until the end, it will help this video trend. That's all you need to know about me. Let's take a closer look at a few companies holding Bitcoin on their balance sheets. It's been almost exactly 1 year since the first publicly traded company announced that it had put BTC on its balance sheet. The company in question is none other than Microstrategy, which purchased over 21,000 BTC last August. Since that time, Microstrategy has accumulated a whopping 105,000 BTC, worth over $4.8 billion at today's discounted prices. Microstrategy is a tech company that develops software for data analysis, and it was founded in 1989 by Michael Saylor, Sanju Bansal, and Thomas Spar. Michael has been the CEO of Microstrategy since the company was founded, and he is the primary reason why Microstrategy has bought so much BTC. This is because Michael is a Bitcoin bull in every sense of the word, and he personally holds at least 17,000 BTC in his own wallet. The reason why Michael pushed for Microstrategy to purchase BTC2 was because, quote, "It makes sense to shift our treasury assets into some investments that can't be inflated away or are less likely to be inflated away." In other words, Microstrategy bought BTC to protect itself against inflation caused by the relentless money printing by central banks around the world. If you're wondering when this BTC will make it back onto the market, Michael has noted on many occasions that neither he nor Microstrategy will sell their BTC holdings. I reckon I believe him, given that Microstrategy has even gone as far as filing to sell hundreds of millions in debt and billions in stocks to buy even more BTC. This is a significantly different approach to the one taken by the second publicly traded company, which announced its BTC purchase last year. This was Square's purchase of over 4,700 BTC in October, and Square has purchased an additional 3.3 thousand BTC since that time, totaling nearly $400 million. Square is a tech company that provides point-of-sale service software and hardware, and it was founded in 2009 by Jack Dorsey, Jim McKelvey, and Tristan O'Tierney. Jack has been the CEO of Square since the company was founded, and though he too is a Bitcoin bull, he is not the primary reason why Square decided to purchase BTC. In contrast to MicroStrategy, Square added Bitcoin to its balance sheet because it, quote, aligns with the company's purpose, which is to make it easy for the world to access financial services. Square's second purchase of BTC earlier this year was likely inspired by the insane amount of revenue being generated from crypto purchases made on Square's Cash app. It's also a logical decision given that Square is also helping build infrastructure around Bitcoin payments, notably the Lightning Network, for which it released a developer kit in January last year. Now, you can learn more about Bitcoin's Lightning Network and why it's so significant by using that link up there in the top right. When it comes to whether Square would ever sell its BTC holdings, according to Square's earnings report in February this year, quote, The company plans to assess its aggregate investment in Bitcoin relative to its other investments on an ongoing basis. This is not a very clear-cut answer, and it's also unfortunate that Square noted it had no plans to buy any more BTC in May this year. Then again, they might just have been spooked by that big dip. Thankfully, Square has not sold any of its BTC yet, though the same cannot be said for the third publicly traded company which purchased BTC earlier this year. This is, of course, Tesla, which purchased $1.5 billion worth of BTC in January as per its filing with the SEC. Though nobody knows exactly how much Bitcoin Tesla actually owns, this is estimated to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 40,000 BTC. Now, Tesla is an electric car company, and though Elon Musk is considered to be one of its co-founders, Tesla was technically founded by Martin Eberhard and Mark Tarpenning. Long story. Elon has been the CEO of Tesla since 2008, and it's not entirely clear whether he was the mastermind behind Tesla's BTC purchase, given that his position on Bitcoin has been mixed, to say the least. According to Tesla's SEC filing, it purchased BTC to, quote, maximize returns on our cash. This has led to the speculation that Elon purposely pumped up the crypto market in May to bag Tesla a pretty profit when it subsequently sold 10% of its BTC holdings to, quote, prove liquidity. In Tesla's defense, proving the liquidity, i.e. how easily its BTC could be sold, was noted in Tesla's SEC filing, and it's something that Tesla's shareholders apparently wanted to see as well. Still, this is not a good look for Tesla, especially since Elon had noted earlier in May that Tesla had not sold any Bitcoin after the crypto market crashed on the news that Tesla would be backtracking on BTC payments for its EVs. As many analysts have pointed out, including myself, the reason why Tesla did this was probably because it makes so much money from selling the carbon credits it gets from regulators for being green. Now, it's possible that these regulators pulled Tesla's top brass aside and noted that their allocation of carbon credits would be reduced if they didn't drop BTC payments, because Bitcoin mining is so bad for the environment. Now, obviously, this is nothing more than a myth, and you can get the facts about the effects crypto mining has on the climate by watching my video all about it. Link is in the top right. Speculation aside, Elon has been more bullish on Bitcoin lately and holds a lot of BTC himself, something which was revealed during Jack Dorsey's B-Word event in June. No specifics on numbers there, though. Assuming Elon stays true to his word, Tesla could be on the brink of resuming BTC payments now that more than 50% of all Bitcoin mining is done with renewable energy. If or when that announcement comes, though, something tells me that Tesla might try and prove liquidity again. Another publicly traded company that holds BTC on its balance sheets is a fairly recent addition to the list, even though it's been holding BTC since 2012. This company is Coinbase, whose shares started trading on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange in mid-April this year. Coinbase holds an estimated 4,500 BTC on its balance sheet, in addition to an estimated 23,000 ETH, together totaling over $300 million. This doesn't count the $100 million or so Coinbase holds in other, as of yet undisclosed, cryptocurrencies. Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange, and it was founded in 2012 by Brian Armstrong and Fred Ursum. Coinbase's crypto holdings were revealed when it filed for its IPO with the SEC in February this year. Now, you might be thinking that it's obvious for Coinbase to hold cryptocurrency because, well, it's a crypto company. But the thing is that not all publicly listed crypto companies willingly hold crypto on their balance sheets. Most of them hold BTC and other cryptos due to the nature of their work, namely crypto mining companies who always have a float of coins in case there's an issue in mining operations. Coinbase is one of the few publicly traded crypto companies that intentionally holds BTC on its balance sheet, and this is because it, quote, believes strongly in the long-term potential of the crypto economy. This means Coinbase is damn bullish on Bitcoin, and I suppose it has to be because most of the money it makes comes from BTC trading. Now, on that note, Coinbase recently announced that it will be investing a further $500 million into cryptocurrencies and will be allocating 10% of its future profits to buying up even more crypto. Anyways, the tricky thing about analyzing the BTC holdings of publicly traded companies is that this information is typically only revealed at the end of each quarter, when they all publish their earnings reports. In case you didn't know, the fiscal quarters are divided as follows: January to March, April to June, July to September, and October to December. Usually, companies will release their earnings reports for each quarter 1 to 2 weeks after the quarter ends. So that's mid-March, mid-June, mid-September, and mid-January. With that in mind, here are a few publicly traded companies that I think could have BTC on their balance sheets at the end of the current quarter. Remember, this means they'll reveal it in early or mid-September. One publicly traded company that could soon be adding BTC to its balance sheet is Twitter. This is because Square CEO Jack Dorsey is also Twitter's CEO, and he recently told Twitter shareholders in a call that they must, quote, invest aggressively in Bitcoin. Jack has also noted on many occasions that he's looking to add Bitcoin's Lightning Network to Twitter or its decentralized alternative, Blue Sky, as a means of tipping users in BTC for quality posts. Even if Twitter shareholders aren't too keen on buying BTC, they've definitely seen the insane earnings that Square's Cash App has posted as a consequence of integrating crypto. The counter-argument to this is that Twitter's earnings are already exceeding expectations by all metrics, and shareholders may not want to rock the boat with risk in exchange for rewards that are not guaranteed. Speaking of crushing quarterly earnings, another publicly traded company that could soon be adding BTC to its balance sheet is PayPal. Now, those of you who keep up with my weekly crypto review will know that PayPal has been expanding its crypto offerings to other countries after seeing how profitable they've been in the United States. PayPal is reportedly even looking to integrate DeFi and will soon be releasing a, quote, super app wallet, which will hopefully feature the deposit and withdrawal functionalities PayPal promised to implement earlier this year. I could see PayPal following Square's strategy of cautiously investing in cryptocurrency, but it's also possible that PayPal will turn to the dark side. This is in reference to PayPal's plans to become the digital wallet for the United States Central Bank Digital Currency, or CBDC, which PayPal CEO Dan Schulman noted earlier this year. Like Tesla, PayPal could be pressured to stay away from cryptocurrency simply because it threatens the status quo, and the last thing PayPal would want to do is mess up any CBDC partnerships by investing in BTC. Now, you can learn more about the dystopian digital dollar future the fiat fat cats are trying to usher in by watching my video about that using the link in the top right. The next publicly traded company that could soon be adding BTC to its balance sheet is Apple. Now, some of you might remember that there was a rumor floating around in July that Apple had bought billions of dollars of BTC. This rumor was no doubt inspired by a job posting by Apple in late May for a business development manager specialized in alternative payment methods. The job description specifies experience in cryptocurrency payments as a requirement for the position, and it's eerily similar to the job opening at PayPal a few months before it began dabbling in crypto last year. Now, this has led many to believe that Apple is moments away from supporting crypto payments, which is certainly not a far-fetched assumption to make. The reason why some believe Apple will also be buying BTC is because of comments made by Apple Pay Vice President Jennifer Bailey in 2019, who said Apple was, quote, watching cryptocurrency, and that cryptocurrencies have, quote, long-term potential. Even so, it's a bit far-fetched to assume that Apple will be buying BTC anytime soon, and that's simply because it goes against Apple's more conservative attitude towards money management. However, I could see Apple feeling the heat if Twitter adds BTC to its balance sheet, and this next company could find itself in the same hot seat with shareholders if it starts to fall behind on BTC. Amazon is another publicly traded company that I could see buying Bitcoin. As with Square and probably PayPal, the slippery slope to holding BTC will be adding support for BTC payments. As with Apple, there were rumors circulating not long ago that Amazon was planning on accepting BTC payments, something an Amazon spokesperson later denied in a statement to Reuters. This means Amazon probably won't be placing bets on BTC anytime soon, but the very nature of the company makes a BTC buy very possible, if not likely. In contrast to most publicly traded companies, Amazon does just about everything. It's constantly innovating and expanding its reach into all sectors, be it healthcare or food retail. It all comes down to demand and profit margins, and as we've seen, there's no shortage of profit that comes from integrating and even holding cryptocurrencies. Although the demand for crypto payments has historically not been there, this seems to be changing very quickly as more and more people hold cryptocurrency. According to a recent study, over 60% of crypto holders are interested in using their coins and tokens to pay for goods and services. If we're talking raw numbers, that's millions of people's money that Amazon is missing out on. Now, this may be why Amazon recently announced it was looking to hire an expert to help it, quote, explore cryptocurrency payments. I take this as a sign that it's not a question of if, but when Amazon will accept BTC as payment, and at that point, holding BTC won't be a big leap to make. So, this brings me to the last large publicly traded company that I could see adding BTC to its balance sheet, and that is Walmart. This is because of a recent job posting which is likewise looking for someone with extensive experience in cryptocurrency to be Walmart's digital currency and cryptocurrency project lead. Now, what struck me about this job posting is that it specifies that the ideal candidate will, quote, identify crypto-related investments and partnerships. Sounds like BTC to me. Now, in all seriousness though, I think whoever takes on this role will have a significant say on whether Walmart goes the Bitcoin way or not. In case you missed the memo, Walmart is actually the largest company on the planet in terms of employees and revenue, and any sort of crypto shenanigans would be a watershed moment for crypto as a whole. As with Amazon, the question is not if, but when, and the faster cryptocurrency adoption happens, the sooner we'll see titans like Walmart holding BTC on their balance sheets. Whether or not this will be a good thing for crypto is a topic for another time, and it's something I mentioned in passing in my video about what happens to Bitcoin when the last BTC is mined. More on that up there. It's often said that we're still early when it comes to cryptocurrency, but that can be hard to see when you're looking at everything up close. The percentage of BTC held by publicly traded companies is one metric that gives you a bird's eye view of where this industry is headed and just how early we really are. Take a moment to consider the fact that it's only been slightly more than a year since high-profile companies began copping some crypto. If you were to plot these purchases on a graph, you'd see a very promising trend, and it's one that's likely to accelerate as crypto regulations are clarified and crypto ETFs start popping up left, right, and center. However, there's one thing you must never forget, and that's that these companies are in it for the dollars, not the sats, with the exception of Microstrategy, of course. Most publicly traded companies already have the connections and the means to build massive wealth and skirt unreasonable regulations. To them, crypto is ultimately just a vehicle to make a quick buck. It's not something they use to liberate themselves from the corrupt financial system they've been fortunate enough to benefit from. This means it's important to take note of when these companies are buying crypto and count their gains as closely as you're counting your own. If they see a 2 to 5x within a year on a multi-million-dollar BTC investment, you can bet your ass they're going to sell that top. Now, you could double down and say that's their loss, but I reckon it's not wise to bet against the smart money. They're fond of cryptocurrency for now, but this could change at a moment's notice. What happens when they start to pull out will be the real test for this asset class and for the mental fortitude of many hodlers like you and me. If you agree, I command you to go on a clicking spree. Like, subscribe, and that little bell too. It'll give you a nudge when the next video hits the tube. If you want more of me, here's what you can do. Follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. My Telegram channel is where you can go to stay in the know, and subscribing to my weekly newsletter will help streamline your crypto flow. You can even snag a hoodie or tee from the Coin Bureau if you're proud to be a part of cryptocurrency. These resources and more are waiting for you in the description down below. That's all for today, my crypto friends. I can't wait to see you all again. Thank you, as always, for watching.